Hey guys, George here, and today I want to talk to you about how mental complexes form in the mind. This is going to be a pretty esoteric concept, but I'm going to ground it in science the best way that I know how. Now, I'm not a psychiatry or a psychology major or doctor or anything like that, but I can share with you my experience with the Buddhist practice that they call Dhamma, or universal law. Now, the Buddha was pretty fucking smart. And forgive my French, but they called him the original scientist. And that's because he used his body as the tool or the instrument to understand the fundamental particles and quantum energy of the universe and what makes us up. And basically he broke down the creation of these complexes into what he called the four minds. The four minds start with the senses. We have 6 sense doors, or 5 senses and a mind full of thoughts. And basically, when we take in information, we are taking it in through our sight, our sound, or ears, our taste, our touch, and our smell. And thoughts are another way that we take in information or create information. So first, through our cognition, we cognize these pieces of information. And so that's basically the first mind. We take in information, and the second mind is we recognize it or recognize it. So when we do that, we basically, through our patterning, give a preference to one thought or one sense or another. Let's say we smell something that we take and we decide, okay, I like this or I don't like it. You know, you smell roses. Okay, I'm smelling roses. Yeah, I like roses. Or if you're thinking something, say you're thinking a thought, somebody called you an asshole or something. Like, no, I don't like that. So that's the second mind. Now, the third mind is something that really bridges the gap here. And that's the idea that we create a sensation in our body as a result of the pattern of recognizing this thing we have a preference to. So we take that in, and all of a sudden, let's say we don't like that thing. The person called me an asshole. So if I have a strong reaction to that, then my heart rate is going to change. My breathing is going to change. Something is going to change the harmony in my body to where now I'm going to start creating a hormone of some sort. So the sensation arises, and then 4 is the blind reaction. And when we react to things, that's exactly what's going on. We don't realize we're reacting to it, but it's so automatic that we respond to the person and call them an asshole back, or we wrench our nose in our face because we don't like the smell of something or what have you. But basically the repetition of this recognition pattern and the sensation that results, and then us reacting to it blindly, creates our complex and reinforces our complex. And the Buddha said there are 3 different kinds of complexes, or sankharas as he used to call them, but we can just go with complexes for modern, whatever. 3 kinds of complexes. So the first one is a line being drawn through water. What happens when you draw a line in a puddle or in a pond? It ripples out, and then it goes away momentarily, like in a couple of seconds. All right, that's number 1. Number 2 is like a line being drawn across sand. So you draw a line in some sand in a dune or on the beach or wherever you are, and what happens to that? It stays for a while, and eventually a day or 2 later, maybe the same day, a wind comes and it washes it away. blows it away. So that's the second kind of complex. Now, the third kind of complex is like a line being etched into stone. And you know how long that takes to erode away a stone and any kind of etching in it? A long time. These are the kind of complexes that we take with us from way early on in childhood. So it's these deep complexes like the ones being etched into stone that have the strongest impact on us and often give us the strongest reaction, especially when we're with family. And you know what it's like when you go and visit your family, or if you're living with parents or what have you, how easily you can react to those patterns. And they're unconscious. We don't realize. We don't know what we don't know. So it's really helpful to understand how these complexes are created so we can understand how to actually unwind and unravel them. Now, how these actually form on a subatomic level is also really interesting. So the Buddha called particles. He called these like subatomic particles that we understand in quantum mechanics now as waveform or particle. They can be either or. And he called these things kalapas. And whatever. It's subatomic particles we'll go for modern reference. But basically, a wave can flip into a particle into a wave. If you've seen What the Bleep Do We Know and some other documentaries that talk about this double slit experiment, you'll understand that a wave can flip into a particle when you're observing it. It's when there's an observer present that it actually changes the outcome of the experiment or whatever it is that you're looking at. Let's say thoughts are waves. We can understand that thoughts are waves. There are plenty of experiments and plenty of tests, brain tests that people do to see this phenomenon in action. And so, wave is a thought. Thoughts, when we repeat them so many times, that wave starts to become denser and denser and denser. Eventually, that wave becomes a particle, and that particle starts to accumulate in the body. And when you tune into when you're having a reaction or when you're being triggered by something, then you will have a physical sensation somewhere. And that physical sensation is the accumulation of these particles. So you're probably thinking, okay, great, I have complexes, they've been here forever, I can't get rid of them, now what? Fear not. There are some ways to deal with these things. And it is, as they say, the only way out is through. So when we can actually learn to feel within our bodies what's going on and what these sensations are when they come up, be able to observe them without judgment, understanding that they're all impermanent, really, then we can actually start to unravel these complexes and be free of them. Now, it takes some time, but you can get some small gains if you can be able to witness these sensations, witness these reactions of yours come up in the moment. So I trust I could give you some insight into complexes in the mind, understand your crazy brain a little bit better, as I know I have one for myself, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a like and maybe subscribe. I got lots more coming.